1965, a year of excitement, a year of thrills, a year of surprises, but most of all for the Chicago Bears, 1965 was a year of promise. At the end of the season, many experts called the Bears the mightiest team in football. Narrowly missing the championship, the Chicago Bears were voted the outstanding comeback in sports in 1965. After 2 successive losses, the Bears meet their bitter rivals, the Green Bay Packers. The unbeaten Pack zooms to a 23-0 advantage, but in the third period, the Bears come out of hibernation as Vukic throws to Ditka for 5. Vukic swings the ball out on the right flat to Gale Sayers, and it's good for a 6-yard gain. Hard-running Andy Livingston explodes through that heralded Green Bay defense as he wrecks the Pack on a 28-yard run. On an inside handoff, Livingston picks up 6 more yards the hard way. Vukic fires a pass to flanker back Johnny Morris, and the Bears are inside the Green Bay 20. Gale Sayers begins to strut his stuff, and he makes it goal to go for Chicago at the 5. Sayers, the Kansas Comet, outflanks a pair of crack Packer backs as he sweeps into the end zone to put the Bears on the scoreboard. In the fourth quarter, Vukic continues the Bears' comeback bid. Rudy finds Sayers wide open. The pass nets 16 yards. Vukic and Sayers come back now and hit with the play of the day, a sensational 65-yard touchdown pass. Watch this. It's a beauty. Chicago's rally, however, falls short, 23-14. But the Bears came of age during that second half with a terrific team effort that carried on during 1965. The Bears' success through the season reached a peak when they met the 49ers at Wrigley Field and set out to avenge a humiliating opening day loss at San Francisco. With that game just 2 minutes old and the field slick from rain, the mighty monsters of the Midway assert their superiority. Gale Sayers sprints past the prospectors for an 80-yard screen pass, touchdown run. Late in the quarter, Vukic sets the pass. It's a beauty, and Ditka's leaping reception makes it 13-0 Chicago. The onslaught carries into the second quarter with Gale Sayers, the featured performer. The incandescent Sayers goes careening into the corner with another touchdown. Chicago's momentum assumes avalanche proportions as the Bears pour on the points. Behind a block by Bob Wataska, Sayers scoots across the goal line with his 3rd TD of the day. In the third quarter, Sayers continues his point parade. This scamper covers 50 yards, and Bear fans are reveling in every yard and every point of Gale's fantastic performance. From close range, Sayers goes somersaulting over the goal line with his 5th touchdown of the game. In the fourth quarter, Vukic puts another rookie to work, and Jimmy Jones grabs this pass for a touchdown. As the saying goes, you ain't seen nothing yet. We're waiting for this San Francisco punt, none other than Gale Sayers. Watch him now. Sayers, NFL Rookie of the Year. A one-man Gale. Dashing 85 dazzling yards on the longest punt return of the season. Here he is, galloping Gale, carrying the mail. This is his 6th touchdown of the game and adds his name to the NFL record book beside Ernie Nevers and Dub Jones. Arnett climaxes Chicago's outstanding offensive performance as the Bears thrash San Francisco 61-20, and revenge is oh so sweet. Yes, revenge was sweet, and as we turn back to the opening game at Wrigley Field to beat the Rams, who inflicted one of the early losses, the Bears' new team vigor is turned loose again. Here, Rudy Bukic opens a drive against the Rams with a pass to Mike Ditka. Good for 10 yards. Veteran quarterback Bukic pairs with Andy Livingston for another 12 yards. Livingston, the youngest player in the NFL, riddles the Rams' renowned fearsome foursome as he gouges out a 17-yard gain. Bukic, the 11-year veteran, and Livingston, the 20-year-old youngster, dominate the first quarter as the Bears threaten on the Rams' 2-yard line. Livingston picks up the pace in the second period with a touchdown plunge, which gives the lead to the Bears. Same quarter, same stars, Bukic throwing, Livingston receiving, and Chicago prospering to the tune of 22 yards. When the Rams brace, the Bears get a kick out of Roger LeClaire to lead Los Angeles 10-0. Third period highlights feature Gale Sayers. The 198-pound halfback takes a screen pass from Bukic and leaves a flock of Rams strewn in his wake. Still going. And Ditka delivers the final block as Gale goes 80 yards to the end zone. That play was so exciting, we'll run it again. Sayers gives us a good look at his all-pro prowess as he prances past the Rams. We enlist the aid of some movie magic to point up Mike Ditka's path-paving block. With the final obstacle obliterated, Sayers strides out to a touchdown. A final period Ram rally is squashed before it starts. Richie Pettibone belts that ball out of the arms of Marlon McKeever. Earl Leggett wraps his 265-pound frame around it and gives Chicago possession. On a reverse pitch out to the weak side, Livingston and the Bears fleece the Rams, and it's goal to go from the Los Angeles 7. Livingston is having a fine time attacking the Los Angeles flanks, and he circles the near corner, and it takes a trio of Rams to turn him off. Faking at its finest fools the entire defense. Bukic waltzes into the end zone with nary a Ram in sight, and Chicago leads 24-6. Roman Gabriel attempts to get the Rams rolling, but McKeever and Pettibone stage an encore of their hit and fumble act. Davey Witzel grabs the loose ball while the Rams return to the Wailing Wall. Bukic pitches off to Sayers at, watch it now. Gale throws, and rookie Dick Gordon bags the ball for a final score as the Bears top Los Angeles 31-6. Adding machines are the order of the day as the offense-oriented Vikings match their scoring power against the freewheeling Bears, who begin a first-quarter drive with Sayers darting to the Viking 33. Chicago's Ronnie Bull looks more like a deer as he speeds through the Minnesota secondary to give the Bears an early edge. Roger LeClaire kicks off to Minnesota. Tom Hall's return is cut short by Ron Smith's necktie tackle. Hall fumbles, and Charlie Bivens grabs the ball for the Bears. On the very next play, Bukic makes the fumble pay off in points as he spears Johnny Morris in the end zone to put Chicago on top by 14. In the second period, the purple and white begin to fight. Tarkenton follows a field goal with a screen pass to Bill Brown, and this Viking goes hiking for a 26-yard gain. Francis Tarkenton, who wrote the word scramble into the football glossary, takes off on one of his famous helter-skelter scampers. The Georgia Peach covers some 45 yards on this run, but winds up with just a 10-yard gain. The battling Bears force Tarkenton into a strategic retreat. But Frantic Fran is famous for his scrambling antics, and he evades the Bears' trap for a first down at the 4-yard line. Tommy Mason tacks up a touchdown as Minnesota closes the gap to 14-10. It's 17-16 in the third period as Tarkenton prepares to pass. Paul Flatley is his receiver, and he gets 38 yards before being tackled by Witzel and McCray. Pigskin pyrotechnics explode at Metropolitan Stadium. Romping Bill Brown tears through the Bears for 40 thrilling yards to give the Vikings a 23-17 lead. Bukic takes a page out of Tarkenton's book, and fighting fire with fire, Rudy ad-libs a 24-yard advance. On a rollout pass pattern, Bukic zips that ball to Johnny Morris, and the Bears are threatening. From the Minnesota 18, the threat reaches a peak. Bukic pairs with Sayers, and the Bears are back in front. The spotlight camera shines on Sayers as we rerun that last play. It was in this game that Gale began to gather his rave reports, and the reasons are obvious. Bill Brown spearheads a fourth-quarter comeback by the Vikings as the fireplug fullback churns out 31 torrid yards. With the ball in the Chicago 9, the Bears chase Tarkenton out of the pocket. But the slippery escape artist breaks free and goes out of bounds at the 1-yard line. On fourth down, the daring Tarkenton fakes Mason up the middle and takes off a round end. Fran just beats Butkus to regain the lead for Minnesota. However, the record Twin City audiences barely settle down before Gale Sayers brings the crowd back to its feet, returning the kickoff into Viking territory. On a weak side counterplay, Ronnie Bull rips off a 7-yard gain. Now it's Bull with the pitch out, taking a pass and reversing his field for 12 more yards. Nine minutes remain in the game as the Bears recapture the lead with Bukic throwing to Gale Sayers for the touchdown that makes it Chicago 31, Minnesota 30. Once more, our spotlight camera focuses on Gale Sayers as we retrace his route to the end zone. Gale's second touchdown gives Chicago its third lead. The plucky Vikings come surging back with Bill King busting to the Bears' 37. On a third down, long yardage situation, the Vikings receive a big break. Tarkenton's pass falls incomplete, but the penalty flag falls too, and it's first and goal on the Chicago 4. Tommy Mason gives the lead back to Minnesota, and with just 2.5 minutes to play, the Bears trail by 6. Viking fans are feeling rather smug at this point, but they're whistling past the graveyard. For the Bears they thought they had buried come to life in a hurry. It's galloping Gale Sayers to the rescue as the most exciting runner to explode on the NFL scene in years jets 96 yards to a touchdown. Sayers' heroics makes the score Bears 38, Vikings 37. Minnesota refuses to crumble. Mason cranks out an 11-yard advance as the Vikings fight to get into that field goal range. A fierce rush forces Tarkinen to hurry his pass. Rookie Dick Butkus, the new king of the middle linebackers, intercepts and sprints deep into Viking territory. With time running out, Gale Sayers cements his superstar status as he storms to his 4th TD of the day. Gale literally sails into the end zone to climax a pulse-pounding win for the Bears. The Detroit Lions are next to test the revitalized might of the Midway Monsters. The Bears own a 2-game winning streak, and they're off to extend it as Doug Atkins puts a bear hold on Milton Plum. The ball falls free, and Earl Leggett picks it up on the bounce for Chicago. The fumble fast becomes a touchdown as Rudy Bukic swings the ball out to Sayers, and over he goes to give the Bears a big second quarter bulge. Bears 17, Lions nothing. Following a Lion field goal, Bukic cooks up more trouble for Detroit with an 8-yard completion to Andy Livingston. It's Livingston again, this time with a pitch out. He's good for a gain of 10. John Arnett works the halfback option pass to perfection here. The Lions secondary is full as Johnny Morris totes the toss to a 59-yard touchdown. Score, Chicago 24, Detroit 3. In the third quarter, the Bears are harsh on Amos Marsh. Joe Fortunato recovers his fumble, and Chicago is on the go again. From the double slot formation, Bukic reverses to Andy Livingston, and look at him go. 30 yards later, Joe Schmidt applies the stopper. Deuce backfield, and Bukic sticks to the pocket while waiting for Ditka to clear, and in a flash, the Bears pick up another 20 yards. The cast is the same, only the direction is different. Rudy's pass is grabbed by Ditka for a touchdown, and this game is becoming a rout. In the fourth period, George Izzo passes to Tom Watkins, who runs headfirst into a wall named Butkus. Boom. Izzo tries again, only to have his pass picked off by Benny McRae. Watch this. 89 yards is not too many for Benny, who gobbles them up with a galloping gait that highlights a smashing victory for the Bears. Final score, 38-10. The Packers are unbeaten as they enter the lair of the bear, bent on continuing their unblemished slate. Bart Starr gets Green Bay off on the right foot with a 33-yard run. Bart sees Stars when belted by Rosie Taylor. Jim Taylor adds 9 more yards, but he can't escape the vice-like grip of Dick Butkus. Taylor goes over the top with a touchdown to give Green Bay an early advantage. In the second period, Starr's pass is deflected by Leggett and intercepted by Atkins as the tide turns. Livingston outflanked the Green Bay defense with a pitch out that's good for a 7-yard gain. The slow motion camera captures the raw power of Chicago's Andy Livingston. Andy charges on and flicks Doug Hart off and continues on his way for 18 yards. Sayers slashes through a yawning hole to bring the ball to the Green Bay 13. Rudy Bukic passes the Bears to the front with a scoring shot to the Wisconsin rookie Dick Jones. That same play, as seen by Green Bay's Doug Hart, presents a different picture. It's one Hart would like to forget. Forced to play catch-up, Star's toss is stolen by Benny McRae, who beats a path back to the Green Bay 37. Rudy Bukic hits Johnny Morris on an out pattern that's good for a first down. For a change of pace, you'll have to look long and hard to top this one by Andy Livingston, who makes the corner for another first down. The blazing speed of Gale Sayers keynotes this score as Gale beats Herb Adderley in a foot race to the flag. At the half, the Bears lead 17-10. In the third quarter, we see Don Chandler punting for the Pack. Arnett gives Sayers a block. And Sayers gives Green Bay a fifth. Gale goes 62 yards before Bob Jeter nails him from the rear. We saw Arnett block. Now watch him run. John makes it goal to go from Green Bay 2. The final yards come easy for John Arnett, who boosts the Bears into a commanding 24-10 position. Late in the period, the Bears are on the prowl again, with Arnett doing yeoman service for 12 yards. Mike Pyle and Jim Cadile blast a hole in the Green Bay line. Arnett shoots through the gap, and the Bears are giving their fans something to shout about. Ronnie Bull goes to work in the fourth quarter, and Green Bay's winning ways are evaporating. It's the Bears who own the winning streak now, as they make it 4 in a row and bounce back into title contention by crushing the powerful Packers 31-10. Memorial Stadium is a madhouse, and the fans are having a field day. If you have a ticket, you're really in. The first time they touch the ball, the Bears begin to growl. Bukic zipping a pass to Dick Gordon, and the play covers 29 yards. Now in his 11th year, watch Rudy Bukic, who came on to become the leading passer in the NFL. His play calling was imaginative, his passing peerless, and as you can see, Rudy can run. The Chicago Express appears touchdown bound as Sayers tears goalward, but a collision with Ronnie Bull derails the Bears as Bobby Boyd recovers in the end zone for a touchback. After forcing the Colts to kick, the Bears begin another drive with Ronnie Bull getting 4 tough yards. Get set for the play of the day, and the man of the minute is the Rookie of the Year, Gale Sayers. 61 mercurial yards give the lead to the Bears. In the second period, Lenny Moore gets a shoulderful of Dick Butkus, and this is more than Lenny can stomach. He fumbles, and it's a tailor-made recovery for the Bears, with things looking rosy for Chicago. A disillusioned Mike Ditka returns to the bench after the Bears fumble the ball back to Baltimore. Gary Quazzo's the Colt quarterback, but he cannot cope with the Chicago secondary. Richie Pettibone intercepts as the Bears set up on the Baltimore 32. Sayers, who scored a record 22 touchdowns to lead the NFL in scoring, gets loose on the outside for a 17-yard gain. With just 27 seconds left in the half, Bukic connects with Johnny Morris at the 5-yard line. Time forces the Bears to settle for a field goal, and LeClaire gives Chicago a 10-0 lead at the half. In the third quarter, Leggett, Evie, and Atkins lower the boom on Gary Quazzo to stall the Baltimore drive. The title-conscious Colts attempt a field goal, but Michaels misses the mark as the brilliant Bear defense keeps Baltimore off the board. Bukic sparks the Bears with a pass to Chicago's top receiver, Johnny Morris. The dynamic little flanker is persistence personified as he refuses to go down. Sayers was second only to Jim Brown in the NFL's ground-gaining derby. Gale gained 867 yards rushing for the season, with 13 of them coming on this sweep. Given superb protection, Bukic threads the needle on a 15-yard completion to Jimmy Jones. A Bear favorite, the swing pass. Bukic to Bull adds a nifty 9 yards to the Chicago cause. Stifled by penalties, the Bears salvage a field goal by LeClaire to lead 13-0 after 3 quarters. The bruising Bear defense continues to contain the Colts. Stan Jones clobbers Quazzo, and Baltimore is forced to punt again. Tom Gilbert boots the ball to the Bears. Sayers, who was second in both kickoff and punt returns, takes it back into Baltimore territory. Fortunato, Atkins, and Morris get a brief rest, but late in the game, the defenders are back in business. Quazzo passes complete to Jimmy Orr, but Butkus and McRae force a fumble. Joe Fortunato recovers to wrap up one of the most satisfying wins of the season as the Bears blank Baltimore 13-0. The season was simply too short for the Bears. After avenging the first 3 defeats at the start of the season, the team came through with 9 thrill-packed wins out of the next 10 games. Rookies and veterans alike gelled into a winning combination, and the Chicago Bears were officially honored as the outstanding comeback in sports for 1965.